Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Cravoisier, and I'm the Senior Director of Content Marketing here at Lob. And I'm thrilled to be here to be your host for today's webinar. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to Eamon Barasoni, one of our amazing sales engineers. Welcome, Eamon.
Hey, Kim, happy to be here.
We're actually in the same neighborhood in San Francisco, yet we're both in front of our computers. So here we are. Well, we're excited to have you here to discuss an awesome new offering from Lob Audience. Now, if anyone has any questions during today's presentation, please just drop them into the QA in the Zoom navigation bar. And at the end of the webinar, we'll get to as many as possible. If we don't get to your question, have no fear. We'll follow up via email after the webinar. Now, before we start, I'd love to take a quick poll and ask the audience about your number one challenge when it comes to sending direct mail campaigns. So we're going to pop up a quick poll here, start our Jeopardy music, and I'll give everybody just a minute to respond.
Boom, boom,
I love
boom,
this part.
boom, boom.
All right, look at those responses starting to come in. Eamon, I have to ask you, as someone who does this every single day, what would your response have been?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm seeing some good ones in here. So I like, finding our ICP's mailing address right on cue. Determining what format to use, that's a good one. Reporting on campaign success. I see getting campaigns in market quickly. I see leveraging personalization. So these all come up, weekly on my side, if not daily. I think if I had to add one to this, it might be, what are some of the cool things that you can do in direct mail that I might not be thinking about? Which, we'll probably be talking about some of those things today, some kind of cool cutting edge stuff that will hopefully spark some creative ideas.
Oh, 100%. You can count on that. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. We've heard loud and clear that one of the hardest parts of running a direct mail campaign is figuring out who to send it to and where to send it. Whether you target corporate or home offices, getting those verified addresses can be hard, right? Audience lists are one of the most important parts of your direct mail campaigns, yet one of the most difficult parts as marketers for us to nail down. With the shift to remote and hybrid work, it became harder to come across accurate addresses, let alone a consumer's home address. And nowadays, whether you're in B2B or B2C, you need to reach people at home. If you're a current Lob customer, you probably already know we offer intelligent direct mail automation and analytics. Lob's the leading direct mail automation platform that allows you to send direct mail campaigns with the push of a button, just like an email. We also provide robust measurement and analytics in a typically hard to measure channel. In the 2023 State of Direct Mail report, 50% of marketers that automate their direct mail said they feel like they can measure ROI. Still, only 40% of marketers are using technology for direct mail, which makes that measurement even more challenging. Today, we want to introduce you to the newest addition to Lob's end-to-end direct mail solution. Meet Lob Audience. Lob Audience solves the problem of building and sending targeted direct mail. Lob has everything you need to send direct mail, from targeting to execution and measurement, all in one place. So what is Lob Audience? Well, Lob Audience is our new suite of data offerings to help you better target and convert buyers through prospecting, website retargeting, and CRM engagement. The three ways we can deliver this are: we can get verified addresses of leads who are actively in the market to purchase products and solutions similar to yours. We can match website visitors to postal addresses so you can target high interest site visitors with your campaigns. And you can turn your digital only email leads into a new direct mail audience. So I've been doing a lot of talking. Well, let's take a look at a few examples, shall we, Eamon?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So as we've said, one of the biggest problems with sending a direct mail marketing campaign is needing the right audience list. In fact, the catch-22 here is if you don't know your audience well, you could end up creating generic and non-relevant content in your mail pieces, which can then lead to low conversions and subpar campaign performance. In the State of Direct Mail Consumer Insights report, 52% of consumers told us they expect direct mail to be personalized. So if you're still sending mass generic mail, you may be destined to fail. But imagine being able to identify buyers looking for your product or service quickly. Using Lob Audience, you can append missing data to your prospect and customer lists to build highly targeted audience segments for your campaigns. And you can create more focused and audience-specific content that resonates instead of generic, non-personalized, and irrelevant direct mail, which could be perceived as a four-letter word, junk. We'll work with any data you have, including name, address, or contact info, to make sure you reach the right people at the right place in their customer journey. I'm curious how many of you have ever wished you could identify website visitors so you could reach out to them after they leave your site. I know I have, and Eamon and I are going to show you how to make that happen. Eamon, over to you.
All right. So how does the sound of making your marketing dollars go further, shortening sales cycles, and closing more business sound to everyone? I'm guessing we're in unanimous agreement that we all want to do that. So what if you could de-anonymize website visitors and target them with direct mail for higher conversion? Web visitor identification solves a huge problem for most companies. You're likely spending a lot of marketing dollars trying to get people to come to your site, but the truth is most companies can't identify over 96% of those visitors by capturing IP address alone. If these visitors don't interact with your site, all you can likely do at best is be able to maybe identify the company they work for. But if that company has 10,000 employees, who exactly are you going to send that direct mail piece to? That's where Lob Audience comes in handy. We'll add a pixel to your site and unmask your website visitors. Then you can append their home address so you can retarget them with a triggered direct mail piece while it still remains fresh in their mind. It really allows you to interact with the lead when it's warm and engaged rather than letting it go stale.
Yeah, we don't want any stale leads around here. Well, this is awesome stuff. And I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. And Blank Space is a killer song, but I don't want any blank spaces in my data fields. So let's talk about how we can round out some of that data so you can target prospects more effectively. After being in marketing for nearly 2 decades, I've yet to meet someone or work at a company with perfect data. It's why we're all on this webinar together, right? Often we'll have some of the data we need. Still, we may be missing an essential piece of information that then blocks or prohibits us from being able to execute a marketing campaign effectively. Say, for instance, you have a prospect's email address. It's a fairly common piece of information you'd have, right? You have an email address, but with little or no other information and still lack that rich context about that lead or prospect. But with Lob Audience, you can reverse email append. It's like a magic wand. You can reverse append your data using the email address and receive the names and any other information you need to make the campaign more personalized, such as demographics or interest. Reverse appending is open for almost any data set, and Lob Audience will quickly and accurately add postal addresses and names to your email database for more complete contact records. Anybody who's ever worked in demand generation anywhere is now like jumping up and down on their desks. Raise the roof. By filling in the blanks, you don't need to sacrifice targeting your hard-earned campaign audience because of missing data or give up on recipient-specific personalization. You can ditch using data substitutions and make use of intelligent targeting. Now let's look at another way that Lob Audience will help you better target prospects and customers. Eamon?
All right. So yeah, one of the most common ways customers rely on data from Lob Audience is to build targeted lists for their direct mail acquisition campaigns. But with Lob, the targeting doesn't stop with buying a list. You can then use this data to dynamically personalize your mail piece with relevant details specific to each end recipient and get attribution back all in one go. So for example, a food delivery company that's rapidly expanding across various geographical markets might want a list to drum up interest ahead of their launch of 5 new retail locations in a brand new city. They will likely have an ideal customer profile based on their historical conversions from their past launches in other markets, and maybe a small email list of eager supporters who've signed on their wait list in anticipation of when that company, opens a store in their city or their neighborhood. So using this ICP data and other conditions, Lob can develop demographic targeting lists by including attributes like household income or households with at least 2 people, or, other indicators like households with and without children or proximity to the retail location. All these things can be considered in analyzing purchase propensities by segment. Finally, not only will this result in a targeted mailing list within a set radius around the new launch location, but the list can also be used to dynamically generate personalizations within the Lob postcard creatives, including things like nearest address of a new retail location based on the prospect's home zip, maybe an image of specific food selections available at each retail location, unique promo codes and location-based URLs, QR codes to place first-time orders, or my favorite one, a dynamically generated map from the prospect's home to the new retail location. So you can literally give somebody unique directions from their house to the new spot, which is pretty cool. So, by having such a personalized targeted mail piece, both to the new geographical market and to that individual recipient, you can drive increased awareness and shorten your time to conversion, given the relevance of this mail piece to that recipient. You'll also know exactly when or how often the QR code was scanned, so you can gauge interest or attribute a purchase down to the exact direct mail campaign and mail piece that contributed to the success.
This stuff is so cool. I love the QR code so much, and the map right from my house to location, making it so much easier to find it, get there, get my purchase or get my menu item ordered is so cool.
Yeah, the personalized maps are literally the thing that we seem to be getting asked the most about in the past couple of weeks. So very cool right now. And then, so this next use case, meeting customers where they are. So when a customer has a good understanding of their ideal customer profile, but needs to increase their reach by fleshing out their current digital leads or capturing high intent page visitors, or maybe finding more leads that meet their criteria, that's something that we can really help with. So an example here would be a luxury vacation home seller can have a good understanding of their ideal customer base by looking at factors like income and age range. And they may also have a sizable list of emails from online informational seminars they run, or they might have anonymous website visitors to high value pages on their site that they'd like to target. Here, Lob can help retarget high intent visitors to their site, reverse append names and postal addresses to those email addresses, and help find more ICP leads to target. With a greater understanding of their prospects and customers, Lob can generate a targeted mailing list for prospects that may be interested in a second or third home, and create postcards with personalized creative, such as images and addresses of actual homes in the market where the prospect is interested, maybe the top 10 home prices in the market where the prospect is looking, direct maps again from the recipient's address to that for sale home address, maybe image or contact information of the local agent based on that prospect's home zip, and finally a QR code or a unique URL to receive more information, which of course we can track when that gets scanned. So this is a really clever use case, because by having such a targeted audience with relevant mail piece content, and potentially even automatically triggering the mail based on a certain action or event, you can build an intelligent and layered outreach campaign starting with that home address. You can also A/B test variables and CTAs, or gain a sense of interest based on the number of QR scans or visits to your unique URL to prioritize going after your warmest leads.
Wow. Like seeing this takes me back. It's like using dynamic content on your website, right? Or dynamic content in your email, and like direct mail just got like a whole lot cooler, right? Like this is not the direct mail that your mama used to use, let's say. And I really appreciate you going through those use cases, Eamon, because it really brings it to life. And what's so striking to me about those use cases is that now you can truly use direct mail just like any other digital channel. And, the physical production or long lead times of interfacing with a printer are no longer impediments or excuses to creating impactful direct marketing campaigns. But of course, this all does start with intelligent targeting, and Lob Audience can help you get there as a first step to sending intelligent direct mail. If you're interested in transforming your direct mail experience with an end-to-end solution to build targeted audiences, automate your campaign execution, measure performance, and iterate with mail analytics, come talk to us and see how you can reach the next level. Now, I'd love to jump in and address some of our audience questions. So are you ready, Eamon?
Yeah, let's go.
Fantastic. I'm going to skim through these quickly and pick out a couple of good ones. So great. I love this as a first question. Let me read this. How often do you update your list to check for accuracy?
Oh yeah, that's a really good question. And I think the answer is that it's a continual process. It's basically a kind of a consistent ongoing process of starting with the selection of, the best consumer data sources, and then running all of that data through quality checks, and then kind of just periodically running further quality checks against that data for accuracy and deliverability, and measuring that data against the other data sources. So we never stop updating our list and checking for accuracy.
Well, like Taylor Swift never stops writing songs. All right. This kind of is a tag onto that one. How are the addresses validated?
Yeah, so we do start by working only with like kind of proven data compilers who have robust data validation procedures on their end. So we start with good data, but then from there we can validate data sources against each other to capture any mismatches and kind of measure the kind of continued accuracy of those data sources. And then finally, any list that's provided by Lob will be run through Lob's own address verification technology, which that leverages Lob's own history of having delivered mail to over half of the households in the US. And we'll use that data to confirm that those addresses are deliverable.
Yeah, fantastic. And I just saw that Lob has delivered 1 billion mail pieces. So that's pretty awesome. That's a lot of mail.
Pretty good data source.
Right. All right. There's another great question. Do I need to purchase Lob's direct mail software to get Lob Audience?
Yes. So you'll definitely need to be a Lob licensed subscriber to take advantage of Lob Audience. Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm getting a little wave, which means we have time for one more question. And again, have no worries. We didn't get to yours. We'll definitely follow up with all the questions via email. So this last question, what makes Lob Audience different than other data providers?
Okay, yeah, good question. So, I mean, first of all, to kind of reiterate that last piece, leveraging Lob's own address verification tools to, ensure the deliverability and, cleansing of every one of those addresses that we provide, that's leveraging data that only Lob has access to based on those billions of mail pieces that we've sent. So that's going to be very unique to Lob. And then just additionally, since we're a compiler, we can test and add and remove data sources based on performance. You can expect our data to continually improve, but the kind of key point about that is that we're a direct mail company, and so we are testing this data specifically in the context of its accuracy and value for direct mail. So that's how you know that you're really getting the best data for direct mail when you work with Lob.
I love that. And that is like the key differentiator, right? It's data for direct mail by a direct mail company. So not these like third party situations. So, well, fantastic. Thanks for pitch hitting all those great questions. And if you would like to learn more about Lob's direct mail automation and audience intelligence, you can scan, so we practice what we preach. You can scan the lovely QR code right here and book a meeting now, or answer the poll that's coming up on your screen, and we'll have someone reach out to you after the session. In closing, I'll quote Taylor Swift one more time. When it comes to data, I've got a list of names and yours is in red, underlined. I'll check it once, then check it twice. So I hope I did that justice for any Swifties in the audience. Our direct mail campaigns are only as good as the intelligence audience data powering them. So please reach out so we can help you crush all your goals. I'd like to thank you all for attending and participating, and a big thank you to Eamon for providing all your insights. Until next time, happy mailing.
Thanks, everyone.